You know, they've got depth and the ability to survive some of these illnesses and short-term issues. So, but interesting to see how that plays out with Bouillon.
Calgary has won 2 of their last 3. Prior to that, they lost 11 out of 12. They went 1-9-2. Ballstead holds his ground, makes the save, flat on his back. The Wild able to come up with the puck. Wild goal that sends him to the bench for a new stick.
Yeah, Ball, the big defenseman, gets a step on him, throws it, lowers the shoulder and takes it right to the net. And Ballstead with a poke check there, does a good job, but in doing so, maybe takes his skates and fall out. And
this line, Magic on Long Island, Friday night in Matt Zuccarello's season debut. Got it to Kaprizov, a shot and a save by Cooley. He returned in a big way with a goal against the Islanders. A centering pass, Connor Zary throws a backhander toward the net, and Ballstead. But when I asked Zuccarello after the game at what point in the play did he decide that if he got the puck from Kirill, it was going right back to him, and he said right about the time Kirill got it the first time. Spurgeon out at center, across to Brodin. Brodin gains the line. In for Eriksson Ek, a backhander right on, kicked out by Cooley. It drops to Tarasenko. He plays it back in. Hartman into the corner after it. Bumped with Coleman. Hinostroza holds. Long shot. Save. Cooley. Rebound. And Cooley got a piece of a Hartman shot. Rossi. Zuccarello. Back to Rossi. A shot. Saved by Cooley. And he hangs on.
that's a lot of silver to hand out, but congratulations to Marcus Johansson. Started young, just 20 years old.
Anderson shoved into the boards by Kaprizov. Nazem Kadri, who just played his 1000th game last week. He's in game number 1002.
Oversimplifying. I think we've seen that already here in the first period.
Remember last year they beat the Wild up in Calgary late in the year. The Wild had just 2 games left after that. That Flames win was part of an 11-2-3 finish for Calgary, and it put Minnesota in a spot where they needed wins in both of their final 2, in Vancouver and home against the Ducks, to hold off the Flames. Minnesota finished with 97 points, Calgary 96. Long shot saved by Ballstead. Hinostroza comes away with a puck for Minnesota. 180 goals together since 2020. When you look at some of the other tandems that are above them on that list, the brain can make up for it by getting faster. And he said, I don't know if I'd want to go so far as to say I'm the smartest guy on the team, but if you said I was, I wouldn't disagree with you. Who plays it down into Calgary territory. Minnesota will make a change. Pahal lost it. Foligno brings it in. Fights through a catch. Foligno centers. And Yurov sent it wide.
We're going to be talking about this at some point, but take away from Foligno. And a good play making a pass here, but no shot on goal. And then the Wild go on their next look. Yeah, Yurov just handcuffed.
Faber waits for a change to complete and starts out from his own zone. To Tarasenko, back to Hartman. Hartman's in. Trying to feed Hinostroza. Brodin with a drive and a save by Cooley.
Might have 10 high danger scoring chances on 7 shots on goal. This is a 2-on-0. Ryan Hartman going in. He does a good job freezing Cooley, but he delivers it to the backhand of Hinostroza.
To Pahal. Under some pressure from Zuccarello. Got it ahead to Frost. He springs Coronado. Coronado tried to center. Juracek. Hanley plays ahead. Coronado numbers at center for Calgary. Coronado to the Minnesota line. Huberdeau moves in, a shot. Save Ballstead. Rebound cleared away. Coleman a shot. That was blocked. Hunt got a piece of it. Loose at the side of the net. Centering pass for Coleman. Comes free to the point. Pahal a shot. I'm not sure Ballstead saw it, but he got a stick on it. William wraps it off the boards. Marco Rossi plays it to Zuccarello. Back to Kaprizov. He hands to Faber. Centered. Zuccarello shot saved by Cooley.
Good look in the final minute. It's a 2-on-4. The Wild execute this to where it's Matt Zuccarello on the back door all by himself with a rolling puck, and Cooley.
Jared Spurgeon out to center for Johansson. Gives it to Eriksson Ek. He fires right on, saved by Cooley. But in spite of that, the Wild were swept in the 3-game series by the Flames. Kadri's shot knocked away. Wild were beaten twice in Calgary and once here in St. Paul. Kadri picks it up for Calgary. Out to the point, Hanley. Uyghur fires, that goes wide. And the rebound controlled by Kaprizov. Had Hartman streaking into Calgary territory, but he couldn't find him. And Zary carries back. He has Klapka driving the net. A redirect on goal is held by Wallstedt.
Behind the goal line, and with that Calgary counters, and Zary with some speed, he's able to maneuver that puck around. Juracek delivered to Klapka, redirects on net.
Faber tried to center, and it hit the skate of Huberdeau. Another spot where perhaps a shot was available. Frost to Huberdeau, who's in behind the defense. Huberdeau in against Wallstedt, and a kick save by Wallstedt.
Oh, what a save there.
Jesper Wallstedt, who stops Huberdeau on the breakaway. Kaprizov and Boldy, the two leading point scorers on the power play for Minnesota. Zuccarello looks, fires, shoulder save Cooley, and it deflects up and out of play. Defended by Anderson, he turns it back out to center.
Interesting play, Boldy giving up the zone. They're almost playing it like it's 3-on-3.
Now he's back on the attack to Eriksson Ek, a shot knocked down by Cooley. Out to center, Frost after it. Spurgeon gets back for Minnesota. Johansson, center, Boldy in, he scores!
The pace to get to it. Faber breaks this one out. Good support from Johansson on the drop pass from Eriksson Ek, and then Boldy gets this all alone out front. And lefty quick shot, 5-hole. Boy, just pretty passing play, good angles, nice attack there from Matt Boldy.
On that line with Boldy and Eriksson Ek, seem to make both Boldy and Eriksson Ek look more like themselves.
I think you just look at the makeup of it. You put Tarasenko there.
Rossi moves down the wall, tried to get it to Zuccarello in the corner. He's bumped by Uyghur. Zuccarello got it out front. Rossi got a forehand shot on goal and a save by Cooley.
They've had moments of greatness in this game. They haven't been able to capitalize. Rossi gets some space through the slot here. A little spinorama on the forehand.
Penalty kill.
Out of Kadri. Huberdeau. Kadri. Dragged it between the legs for a shot and a save by Wallstedt.
For a change, like, oh man, but here's the Kadri attempt where he had goal line attack and he tries to get cute with the between the legs flip. But he
talked about the fact that he played in his 300th game recently. As here Wallstedt hangs on. 13th faceoff win for Frost tonight, and Calgary starts with possession again. Uyghur gives it to Kadri. Kadri fires, pad save Wallstedt.
1 minute remaining in the third period.
Down the wall to Coronado. Wild come up with a puck. Eriksson Ek sidesteps a check. He has Kaprizov ahead of the play, and Kaprizov scores!
Well, individual play here from Boldy to win that wall battle. Then how about Eriksson Ek? Trip to himself, little race, puck into space, and Kaprizov just beats Kadri up the ice. But maybe my favorite play there was the shot of Wallstedt in this celebration. We talked to Hines this morning about how important it is to have young hunger in your lineup. And he said, absolutely.
Final seconds, puck goes to the corner. Huberdeau's after it. Hartman got a piece of it in front. And the Wild take down the Flames. Jesper Wallstedt with a 35-save shutout, his second in the NHL.